Howdy folks, welcome back to Boondockery. I'm back on the old school military surplus bandwagon and I'm going to share with you some deals and finds. Well, over the past 10 to 15 years, I have sought and acquired the most advanced, the most high-tech, the most current military surplus and tactical gear that you'd ever want. And even though I have it, it's all state-of-the-art stuff, it's all modern, there's just something in me that says, I like the old stuff. And I really, really do. So I have been gradually finding and acquiring things that I had from when I was in the Army. And I've put together rigs, I've got complete kits now, complete loadouts for my old Alice packs and my Alice gear. And I start looking at these different time periods and the equipment that they carried. And just as something comes up from my time at reenacting, to be able to acquire that stuff and to wear and use that stuff and the environments they would have used it in, there's something really cool about that. You know, I think a catchphrase would be experimental archaeology. If you want to know what it's like to walk a mile in a man's shoes, well, you got to have those shoes. And so I've been doing a lot of research, a lot of reading, a lot of video watching on YouTube through all these different time periods. And I have my stuff now. There's a few things that I still need to get, but very few things. And I start looking back and I start looking forward beyond when I was in, and I'm seeing the different transitions and the different designs, and I see merit in all of it. And I've been sort of focusing on looking for surplus that's to a particular set of, or a time period, or a lineage. It was like, you know, I have my Alice stuff, but Alice was a direct result of Linklo, and which was a direct result from the M1956 gear that came before it. And after the Alice stuff, of course, everyone knows about Molly, but sometimes they forget about that intermediate period where there's the stopgap between Alice stuff and Molly stuff. And I've really enjoyed learning about those things. And it's been a lot of fun acquiring those things and putting those kits and rigs together. And so a lot of what I'm going to be showing you today is a direct result of me looking for specific things. Now I'm going to start off with the oldest stuff first and go forward of the timeline from there. This is an intermediate sleeping bag. Now, I had issued to me both intermediate and extreme cold weather sleeping bags, and the one that I used most frequently was the intermediate. Now, like a fool, probably everything, no, not everything, but a lot of the things that I had when I got out of the Army, piece by piece, I sold it, I traded it, I got rid of it, I gave stuff away. And just simply because I wanted the new stuff. And I was thinking, well, if it's new, then it's better. And not necessarily, it's different. And depending on your purpose for that piece of equipment will determine whether or not something newer is actually better, or if something older is good enough for the job for the way you'll be using it. And so, of course, my sleeping bags, I had both, and brought them home and got rid of them. And but if all goes well, next weekend I will be bivouacking, probably somewhere over there, in all of the stuff that I had when I was in the Army. My pup tent, now I have a sleeping bag, my isomat. Just the only things I'm going to have with me, other than my camera equipment, are the things that I had when I was in the Army. And so I went looking for an intermediate sleeping bag. And the last time I bought intermediate sleeping bags, I had gone to a surplus store, I think it was near Alliance, Ohio, and we were staying, me and my family were staying with a friend of mine, and the kids didn't really have a sleeping bag. We were used blankets and stuff like that, but stopped by this surplus store, and they had a mountain of like almost brand new, 2 unissued intermediate sleeping bags. I bought 2 for 25 bucks a pop. Well, those times are gone. This is definitely has been used, and I'll bring in and let you see some of the details here in just a moment, but very, very lightly used. There's no rips, there's no tears, all the snaps, the zippers work, everything is outstanding. Whoa, I was not expecting the price tag. I was able to haggle with the owner, and the price tag was 150 bucks. And you know, whether or not you think that's a fair price or not, I was I was a little surprised, especially since they also had all kinds of component parts and complete military sleep systems. And they were selling, you know, those for a little bit more, like the intermediate bag for them. They were selling it for like 50 bucks, 60 bucks, depending on the condition. So I was a little surprised that the older stuff was going for so much. But yeah, I'm going to bring you in, let you check out some of the details of this. And I was very, very pleased with it, but I was able to haggle with the owner. He knocked 50 bucks off. So I have a very, very good conditioned intermediate bag for 100 bucks. Now this is an extreme cold weather parka removable hood. In one of my earlier surplus videos, I shared a parka shell and liner that I found at, believe it or not, was at an antique store for $45. I had been looking at them online, and just the shells were going for well over $100. And so I was elated when I got that. But just out of the blue, I saw one of the dealers at the flea market just had this random with a bunch of other stuff. I think it was actually laying beside some pots and pans. And so this is phenomenal. It's all wool lined, and as you can see by looking at the tags that are in here, this was probably never issued. It is absolutely pristine. There's some stuff in the Velcro, some fuzz and stuff. That's probably just from storage or whatever. There's, little areas here that, you get when you have new pieces of equipment. But this is pretty nice, and it buttons into the collar of the parka shell, and you can adjust it from the back for it to pull up around your neck so it's a better fit. You can adjust it here in the front to pull this closed. You can adjust this with this wire that's in here to really get that around your face to keep you good and warm. Now, when I was in the Army, we had these. I couldn't figure out why in the world they made this white. Because the thing is, you can be someplace, and I have been many places, that it was extremely cold and there was no snow to be found. But regardless, this actually completes that portion of the parka. So I have the parka, shell, liner, hood. I have the trigger mitten liners. Now The only thing I need are the field pants and the field pant liners. And I found some more Alice stuff. I do not necessarily need another Alice pack frame. This has never been issued. It is brand new, and you could probably tell on the printing on the straps that this thing is brand new. It's never been used. I know I could definitely replace a couple of my older straps with these, so that was fantastic. The frame, I do have one frame that I did repair that I could replace with this, and then, you know, either have for trade value or sell the other stuff at another time. But the reason I bought it wasn't because I was looking at those ideas. It was $10. It was $10. So for that, to have something for potential trade or potential future use, things like that, I definitely thought it was well worth that price. And we got a couple Alice pouches here. This one is for the 2-quart bladder canteen. It's a little used, but still in excellent shape. Just minor scuffing on the buckle. It has both the D-rings. None of the insulation is ripped out. You can see it has a pretty decent print, and the Alice clips are in great shape. Had both of them, and the bladders are pretty affordable. And so I've already got one complete. I wanted to have another for my Alice packs, and so that's going to work out pretty well. This is just an M16 magazine pouch, and this was one of the ones from back in the day when they had little webbing separations in them, and of course, just like me, they were cut out right up through here. And this is in good shape, completely serviceable. Minor little booger right here, but that's it. Came with the Alice clips, and these are a little corroded, but still no problem. The snaps snap. They're both intact, and this is definitely going to come in handy for another little project I've got going. And 3 first aid / compass pouches. Now, they're brand new. They are all just brand new. There's no scuffing. The Alice clips are great, and they all came with the cravat, the sling, do-rag. And so I don't know if you've priced those cravats, the camouflage bandage is what they call it, or not, but those right there could be $8 to $10 a piece. Well, I spent $5 for the camouflage bandage and the Alice pouch with clip. Now, one thing I found sort of interesting. You know, all military pouches have printing on them. You know, it's like there's a number or a description of what it is. Sometimes there's a date, but they usually have the manufacturer as well. Check out the manufacturer of this. Make sure we get in there, you can see it. The Industries for the Blind. Now, call me crude or whatever, it just really struck me as funny. Industries for the Blind was sewing military pouches. For some reason, that just, it tickled me. Now, these next items are from the next step after Alice. It was a stopgap. It was a transitional type of system called the Individual Integrated Fighting System. And I have an LBV 88 enhanced. And in a future video, you'll see me assembling that. I needed the pistol belt, the proper pistol belt for it. And I also found a place that had these for $4 a piece. Again, they appear to be minimally used, if not used at all. All of the Alice clips are perfect. All the print. This was from Infinite Creations Incorporated. Infinite, I tell you. It's not quite as good as Industries for the Blind, but it's still impressive. And this is a copy. I want to say a copy because this was military issue. And but Bianchi originally designed this holster and actually produced it for the military, but several other companies did as well. This one just happens to be Cathy Enterprises Incorporated, and this is the M12 holster. This is a really great holster, and it was new. It was in a plastic bag, and it even has the original manual / instructions on it. Now, one of the things I do want to do is there are a couple accessories that are for this. I have the extender, but they also make accessories to where you can remove the flap completely and replace it with a snap and webbing to where you can actually use it as a shoulder holster with the harness. I'm still looking for those, but I was able to get all of these really inexpensively. I think this holster was $22, still in the package. These are $4 a piece, and I was able to get the pistol belt. I think I spent $10 for that. But all these are going to be going on my next build for the LBV 88 Enhanced. Now, slipping further into the future, Molly gear. I am an absolutely huge fan of the Flick, the Fighting Load Carrier. I have one that I've completely kitted out. I absolutely love it. That was in the UCP, Universal Camouflage Pattern. I don't know what universe it came from, but it's the Universal Camouflage Pattern. And I dyed it. Actually, I dyed one green, I dyed one coyote brown. But I have one completely rigged up. It's super comfortable. It's super practical. You can patrol with it very, very comfortably. And not only that, but you can put it on and take it off very quickly. If you have body armor, you can adjust the straps to where it'll still buckle over top of your body armor. If you're wearing thick winter clothing, you can do the same thing. But this is probably one of the most practical. And if you're purchasing UCP, Universal Camouflage Pattern, you can get them dirt cheap. I saw a pretty big surplus company, I forget which one it was, but they were offering the complete rifleman kit. I mean, everything you need for the rifleman kit. You know, 2 canteen pouches, you have several of these double magazine pouches, you have the shingles. You know, you don't have shingles because that's just painful. But anyway, you know, the 3 magazine flat shingle things that clip in here, then you can put these on top of those. It had the waist pouch, and it even came with the patrol pack. They had these things for like 50 to 60 bucks. It was insane. But anyway, if you want something on the cheap that's going to do incredibly well for a myriad of uses, the Fighting Load Carrier is it. And I have no desire to repurchase the Woodland Camo Molly pack. I had one. I had the patrol pack. I had everything. It was everything that you could put on that Molly pack I had. It had the original really heavy black frame, and it was complete. It's in fantastic shape. I sold it, and that's one thing I do not regret selling. It was great that it was Woodland Camo, God's plaid, but I would not use that pack. And every pack that I have, I want to take in the woods. And I absolutely love the Woodland Camo. I gone full circle. I left a God's plaid behind me, and I went into the future with multicam and OCP, and now it's sort of like, I really like M81 Woodland. And so I saw a couple of these pieces, and then I saw the flick. So I went ahead and purchased a flick. I purchased a couple of pouches, and I've gone back since then to acquire a few other things. The flick itself is basically a vest that's fully adjustable. You have the ability to put things all the way around your torso, and it is pretty much in your lumbar. You can adjust it to where it's lower, but that's where I like mine. So everything is accessible and very, very comfortable. You have all of this mesh here that, you know, breathes. So just right around your belly is the only spot that you really have heat retention. With my belly, yeah, make it sweat some more. That's not a problem. But I was able to pick this up. I think I spent $10 for this. Everything's brand new. It's complete. It's the Molly canteen pouch. It came with, appears to be a brand new canteen and canteen cup. And I spent $24 for that. And looking at the prices online for used, I was very, very pleased with that. This pouch in particular can be used as a general purpose pouch, can be used as a magazine pouch. So the pouch is a really good thing just on its own. I purchased 4 of the, I think these were $5 a piece. Purchased all 4 of them. All of them are either in excellent condition or like new condition. Those are great. Those are double magazine pouches, but the coup de grace for $15 a piece were these brand new Molly saw pouches. And look at this. They still have the chalk dots on these for the manufacturing the sewers to see where they're going to line everything up with. And it's actually on both of them. I never noticed that before. But yeah, these are absolutely phenomenal general purpose pouches. These are excellent for I guess, an expanded IFAC, to put a lot more stuff than what you normally have in an IFAC. They're also just phenomenal general purpose pouches. The nice thing about these is something that you would oftentimes just carry in your butt pack, which you have to take your rig off to access. You can actually have these on your sides, and to be able to have things that you don't use all the time, but when you need it, you don't want to have to take your rig off in order to get that together. This is all for this project, and I have several pieces that I still need to get. One of which are the little shingles, the 3 magazine pouches. Apparently they are as scarce as hen's teeth because I can't find them. All of the surplus online companies that I deal with, none of them have any. None. Not even in bad shape. They don't exist. I don't know how many times I've checked eBay, but they just don't exist. And the other big thing, I need another canteen pouch. And the other thing I want to get is I want to get the waist pouch, which is another item which I have not been able to find anywhere in Woodland. But when I'm finished with this, this is going to be just an absolutely fantastic Woodland patrol rig. And I'll probably pick up 2 or 3 of the grenade pouches too, because those are great for compasses, just small items. And I think it'll be a really great Woodland rig when it's all finished. A lot of these items you're going to be seeing again soon. Some of them sooner than others, because I plan on using all of it in future videos. I want to do my bivouac next weekend, and so you'll get to see all the you know, early 1980s kit that I had that I used when I was in the Army. I'll be bringing all that out and setting up my camp with that and using nothing but those items. And so you'll see the sleeping bag then. The winter stuff you will see probably here in just a few months. From what Ryan Hall y'all has been saying, we're going to have a colder, much snowier winter where I live here in southeastern Ohio than normal. As a matter of fact, he put us in the, what do you call it, the line of death or something like that. There was a band that goes across, the northern half of it goes across southeastern Ohio to where we are going to get a series of major snowstorms, which I personally am looking forward to because I love camping in the snow. And but it snows so rarely, and to the amount that is really makes it fun where I live, that sometimes the periods of time where we do get it, I don't have the opportunity to come out and enjoy it. But you know, the parka stuff, all the extreme cold weather stuff I've been procuring. Hopefully I'll have my field pants and field pant liner by then. I do have a pair of galoshes, USGI issue galoshes, which when I was in, you were either getting the big metal clipped galoshes, which I thought were fantastic, or you got these things that, I don't know, you'd find it like in a drugstore or something. They were rubber, and they didn't even, they had like a little bungee cord loop that wrapped around the top part of your foot, and you know, it went over a little button, and I just they were horrible. But I had the galoshes. Well, I have a pair of those again, and so I'm set for my winter footwear, and I'm looking forward to the potential of that. The LBV 88 stuff, that is, you'll see a video of that probably, maybe even the next video. And I do have, as if I need another one, I do have a line on a CFP 90, which was the backpack for that system, and a patrol bag. And if I'm able to swing it next pay period, if you know it's still available, I'm going to see what I can do about procuring that as part of that kit. That was one of the first large rucksacks that I purchased that I did not have when I was in the Army, after I was out of the Army, and I used it a lot. Me and my friend Cole, we went to the UP, and that was our backpack that we used, and it did very well. It can carry more weight comfortably than what a lot of people can actually carry themselves. The only failing in it was a rubbery plastic yoke for the adjuster. And I have talked to a couple different people, different sources, and they have actually taken that yoke and given it to someone that can do metal work, and they actually cut an aluminum yoke to replace it with. So now if by any chance it were to wear out like my other one did, because I purchased it new, me and my buddy John Walsh picked it up in Lexington, Kentucky at a gun show. The same gun show, and we got them for $75 a piece. Back then they were going for ridiculous amounts of money. And but we also picked up a couple Mac 90 Norenkos, and just dirt cheap. Dirt cheap. I don't know what cost more, the case of ammo that we bought for each one of them or the guns themselves. But we had a lot of fun with those too. But anyway, if that pans out, I'll be doing a patrol / camping video with that, because that system was also the system that introduced the world to the military sleep system, and the CFP-90 was designed specifically to carry that system. And I won't get too much more into it. I have a tendency to get carried away. I'm so excited about it all, but those will definitely be potential new videos, hopefully here soon. And hopefully before the snow starts to fall, I'll be able to have that stuff all done and together. But I believe that, oh, and the Molly thing, once I'm able to acquire all of my stuff, I'll do a video on the Molly M81 Woodland Flick. Well, folks, there you have it. I really hope that you enjoy this kind of stuff as much as I do. One of my favorite channels to watch on especially deals and finds is definitely Renaissance Marine. So if you've not watched his channel before, definitely check that out, because he has an entire collection of all of these fantastic videos. And I thought I was lucky with finding stuff, especially unique stuff, things you don't normally find, but he's got me beat by a long way. Well, folks, as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.